Cruella DeVille, National Road Trip Day, and Patch Adams are all on this day. Welcome back to On This Day. Today's date is May 28th, 2021. It is the 148th day of the year. There are 217 days left in 2021. It is the 22nd Friday of 2021 and the 22nd week. Today's the 70th day of spring. We got 24 days left until summer. Today is National Road Trip Day. National Road Trip Day is a day where we are to take a road trip or plan a road trip, preferably with someone you like. Never take a road trip with someone you don't like. I did that one time, big mistake. National Road Trip Day has been a thing since 1955. All right, let's see what else May 28th has given us. 1892 in San Francisco, John Muir organizes the Sierra Club. John Muir is a very interesting person. He was an influential Scottish-American naturalist, author, environmental philosopher, botanist, zoologist, glaciologist, and early advocate of the preservation of wilderness in the United States of America. This is one of the most interesting people in the history of California or the United States, in my opinion. Muir was born in Dunbar, Scotland in 1838. In his biography, he said his early loves when he was a kid were nature walks, bird watching with his grandfather, and fighting on the playground. If you know many Scotch or Irish people, that's about normal. Ask anyone in my Irish family. In 1849, Muir and his family immigrated to the United States near Portage, Wisconsin. At 22, Muir enrolled at the University of Wisconsin-Madison, taking things like botany, chemistry, all kinds of geology, things like that. In 1863, his brother Daniel left for Wisconsin because the Civil War was going on and his brother wanted nothing to do with it. A year later, he followed him to Canada. In 1866, Muir returned to the United States near Indianapolis. Then in 1867, he decided he was going to walk from Kentucky to Florida, about 1,000 miles, 1,600 kilometers. He wrote a book about it called The 1,000-Mile Walk to the Gulf. He had no specific route except he wanted to go by the wildest, leafiest, and least trotted way he could find. He stayed in Florida for a while and eventually made his way to California, settling in San Francisco. And then one week he decided to take a trip to this place called Yosemite and see what it was all about. Fell in love with the land, not a person. He wasn't there for a woman. He was there for the trees, the waterfalls, the natural environment. One of the coolest things about him, he decided he was going to live in Yosemite for a couple of years, so he built himself a cabin. Well, he built his cabin over a creek so that the creek would run through part of the inside of the cabin so he could fall asleep listening to the creek at night. I think that's just great. I always wanted to do that since I read about that years ago. During his lifetime, John Muir published over 300 articles and 12 books. He co-founded the Sierra Club, which helped establish a number of national parks even after he died. Today, the club has over 2.4 million members. John Muir died in 1914. 1974, Northern Ireland's power-sharing Sunnydale Agreement collapses following the general strike by loyalists. 1977, in Southgate, Kentucky, the Beverly Hills Supper Club is engulfed in fire, killing 165 people inside. That is alarming. 1977 is not like, that kind of thing happened in the 1800s, late 1800s or whatever, early 1900s. This is 1977. We weren't making everything out of wood anymore. That's a lot of people to die at a supper club. 2011, Malta votes on the introduction of divorce. The proposal was approved by 53% of voters, resulting in the law allowing divorce under certain conditions being enacted later in the year. Prior to that, you just had to stick with whoever you married, no matter what the situation was. Movies released on May 28th today, 2021, Cruella. This is a live-action movie about the villain Cruella DeVille from 101 Dalmatians. It looks really good. I was at the movies with my sons to see King Kong and Godzilla as soon as the theaters reopened, and I saw the preview for it. I haven't seen it yet, but I probably will. I have a granddaughter now. We'll probably go see it, and while I was watching that preview, I finally realized Cruella DeVille is actually Cruel Devil. They added an A, but it's Cruel Devil. I thought that was interesting. All those years since I was a kid, I knew who Cruella DeVille was. I never made that connection. Born on May 28th, 1945, Patch Adams, American physician and author. He founded the Gesundheit Institute. If you don't know who Patch Adams is, there's a great movie that was made in 1998 with Robin Williams playing Patch Adams about his life. Obviously that's a Hollywood version of it, but it's a really good movie. And I've read some things about Patch Adams over the years. Dr. Patch Adams, I guess you could say. And is a very interesting man. Kind of decided doctors and medicine don't need to be scary and intimidating. Died on May 28th. Now, I talked about this one last year on this day, but I thought we could mention it again. 1971, we lost Audie Murphy, American soldier and actor. He is a Medal of Honor recipient. He's one of the most decorated soldiers in American history. He was only 5'5". So you usually think that someone that's going to be extremely brave or something's big. He was 5'5" and knew how to shoot and apparently wasn't afraid of anything. He got all these awards and he only served full-time in the military during World War II. He then went on to serve in the National Guard and eventually the reserves for a while. But his full-time service was only 3 years, and he achieved so much. He went on to be an actor and did a bunch of westerns and played himself in a movie called To Hell and Back, which, like I said last year, they really need to remake that movie. So, Steven Spielberg, Tom Hanks, if you're listening, please redo To Hell and Back. He was in the 3rd Infantry Division. When I joined the military, I wanted so bad just to be in that division because of what I knew about Audie Murphy. Don't know why, I just wanted to be there. I ended up in the 7th Infantry Division. Sadly, he died in 1971 at the age of 45 when a private plane he was on crashed into a mountain near Roanoke, Virginia. All right, that's today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you got some information out of it. This was a really boring day in history. Not a lot was going on, and I talked about a bunch of it last year. Last year there was like the Isle of Man does its first race. Clinton's business associates go to jail. There's a couple cool things, but I did them last year. This year, they didn't have enough on this day to do 2 videos, I guess. Hopefully something big will be happening today, and it'll be able to go on next year's list. All right, everybody have a great day. Be nice to each other.